What is up, guys? As requested, today I wanted to make a video on RAD140 stacked with Cardarine, the benefits, the side effects, everything you need to know. Now, before we actually jump into it, I want to say thank you guys. We're at 16.8 thousand subscribers on the second channel. So a massive thank you to all of you who are subscribed and watching the content. Also, of course, if you guys need anything, make sure to check out the link in the description down below, where you can pick up both supplements and everything we will be discussing. First and foremost, is this going to be anabolic, which I assume is the majority of the reason why people would take it as a replacement to the regular cycles and gear that are out there. So it aids in body fat loss while also increasing your muscle mass. So this point right here is the main reason you're going to see RAD140 become so popular, and why it is so popular at this current point is mainly it's great for contest prep, it's great for overall body composition. With summer, people trying to get in their best condition possible, put on some muscle extremely quick while also shedding some body fat percentage. Little to no side effects. So if you run it at the recommended dosage or below and for the correct amount of time, you are going to see little to no side effects, which is why SARMs have become so popular in the anabolic world. You may be familiar where steroids have liver toxicity, male pattern baldness, gyno, tons of side effects associated with steroids. The beauty of SARMs, or selective androgen receptor modulators, is it's going to be a little bit less intense as your traditional cycles, but it's also going to be little to no side effects. So it's a little bit give and take. So if I was to compare RAD140 to something, it'd be very similar to like Winstrol or Winnie or Anavar in the steroid world. So the average dosage is going to be anywhere from 20-30 milligrams per day. And that is for an experienced user. I always recommend starting low if you're going to take anything. And by the way, just a little bit of advice. I'm not a doctor. Do not do anything without your doctor's supervision. This video is strictly for informational and educational purposes only. Now, with that 20 to 30 milligrams per day starting on the low end, it's always best, in my opinion, to take it pre-workout, which would be 1 hour, or whenever you take your pre-workout shake, you incorporate that in. From anywhere to 6 to 12 weeks. I mean, it's really up to you how long your contest prep is or what your goals are. You could run it a week, you could run it 2 weeks. And obviously, with the more time that passes, the more you're at risk for suppression. So when I bring up suppression, what am I talking about? Is testosterone suppression, your natural test levels being suppressed. So obviously at higher dosages or longer durations of time, you are more at risk for being suppressed, which is where post-cycle therapy or PCT is key. So we will put PCT is a must, because I always recommend post-cycle therapy. It's always better to play it safe than sorry. Your genetics may allow you to get away with not needing a PCT, but you never know. So that's why it's just always better to be safe than sorry. If you're at all curious about PCT, I actually have a video on this channel that's an in-depth guide of everything you will need, how to run it, for how long, so you guys are all being as safe possible. Now, the purpose of this video was actually RAD140 stacked with Cardarine. So if you were curious, the stack I took was actually just a SARMs blend last year when I won my men's physique competition, which included RAD140 and Cardarine. So I was able to maintain a vast majority of my muscle while also shedding body fat. Cardarine, in fact, is a healthier alternative, in my opinion, to that of, say, clenbuterol. Many of you may be familiar. So now we will talk about what benefits you can expect from taking not only RAD140, but stacking that with Cardarine. So let's throw Cardarine on the list. Now, the first thing is it's going to be an improvement to your blood sugar, as in lowering your blood sugar levels. So improvement in blood sugar, lower levels, which if you already are prone to having high blood sugar levels, this would definitely be something you could benefit from. Also lowers your LDL, which is your bad cholesterol, the one you don't want. And it also raises your HDL, which is your good cholesterol. So it's great for people. Don't mind the typos of the capitals and everything. But basically, you get it. It raises your good cholesterol, lowers your bad cholesterol, thus improving your overall cholesterol levels. Now, of course, the most popular reason people take Cardarine is strictly the fat loss, where you heard me compare it to that of clenbuterol, but a far healthier version, because as you can see up above, you're getting lower blood sugar levels, you're getting an improvement in your cholesterol, you're getting the fat loss benefits. Also, a big spike in your endurance, which is another reason it is banned in professional level sports such as cycling, NFL, basketball. They are actually going to test for Cardarine because it gives that big of an advantage. That is both cardiovascular, muscle endurance, the whole spectrum. Another benefit of Cardarine, it is non-hormonal, which means it does not require PCT. So say if you aren't going to take RAD140 as mentioned above, you could always go with just a Cardarine if you want fat loss, weight loss, just an overall improvement in your health. And it also has anti-inflammatory, let's see if I spell that right, there we go, anti-inflammatory properties, which is great for people that have those types of conditions. Why Cardarine is a great replacement for people that are competing in contest prep for that of clenbuterol is because Clen has so many negative side effects. It's hard on your heart. It can cause permanent long-term complications. It's just something I would never personally ever touch again, nor do I recommend anyone else out there ever touch because there's much better options. You don't need to take the traditional stuff that was back in the day. There's much better alternatives now. And in my opinion, I actually believe Cardarine works better than clenbuterol. So the dosage for Cardarine is going to be anywhere from 20 to 30 milligrams per day. I've never even gone up to 30 milligrams per day personally. My sweet spot for me was 20 milligrams. And I noticed incredible benefits. As I mentioned, just the very first day or within the first couple of days of taking Cardarine, you are going to notice a dramatic increase in your endurance in the gym, or if you're doing, say, a sport, like I mentioned, cycling, whatever you're out doing, you're going to notice an instant increase. Now, say if you're running the RAD140 for a 6-week cycle, I would also run the Cardarine for 6 weeks as well. So 6 weeks Cardarine. Even though it's non-hormonal, you want to give your body a break from it so it doesn't become dependent on the compound. So I get questions all the time, can I take Cardarine for a year straight? No, I would never recommend that. I would think just run it like any other similar thing out there, such as, the 6 to 12 week protocol. Cycle off for the same duration of time, and then you're welcome to start again. And as mentioned with the RAD140, I would always start at the low end of the spectrum. So I would start at 10, even 5 potentially, see how your body responds. If you're getting results, great, stick right there. If you're noticing a plateau, then that's where you up it. As I mentioned, I have never even reached 30 milligrams. 20 milligrams seems to be way more than enough for me. And I'm a bigger guy. I'm 6'4", always around like 250 pounds. So why stack the RAD140 with the Cardarine? Basically, you're gaining anabolic along with also getting improved fat loss and performance. So what that means is you're going to get more out of your workouts, you're going to get better fat loss, you're going to be able to retain more muscle, actually put on muscle while in a caloric deficit, especially great for competitors, as I mentioned, if that's your thing, bodybuilding, or just overall wanting to get a better looking physique for summer. This is the ultimate stack, in my opinion. RAD140 is probably one of the most popular SARMs on the market at the moment, and it's for a very good reason. It's extremely quick. The half-life, I forgot to throw in here, so let's throw that in there. The half-life is short, so both Cardarine and RAD, you're going to need to dose it only once per day. Let's put that down here, actually. So dose once per day. And that's good. As I mentioned, pre-workout is going to be the best time. So take your pre-workout shake, incorporate the Cardarine and the RAD140. And there's also blends out there. So you don't need to buy them both separate. Just make sure you have a good, reliable source. That's why I provide you with the link in the description down below. There's stacks that have both in it. As for the females, because I know there is probably going to be a couple females watching this video, RAD140 is safe for females. The side effects are going to be a little different. You might notice a change in your menstrual cycle, so just be aware of that. As you guys can see on screen, there's a bunch of females on the Discover page, shows majority of what I'm following. But as for the dose for females, so let's just throw this in here just so you get a better gist. I would say start 5 milligrams, extremely low. I wouldn't go above 10 milligrams per day for a female unless you're going all out, want to be a top tier bodybuilder, women's physique, women's bodybuilding. You basically get the gist of what I'm trying to say. There's going to be much more side effects for females than there is for males. Cardarine, since it is non-hormonal, the dosage is going to be the same. It could be anywhere from 10 to 30 milligrams. Start at 5 if you want. But the RAD140, because it's anabolic, that's where I would definitely have some caution. and start at the low end, the bare minimum. You're going to get more out of it than most males, especially because of how anabolic it is. And I think that pretty much wraps it up. As I mentioned, guys, I mean, I've had incredible results running the RAD140 stacked with the Cardarine. Of course, this is not me giving you any type of advice. This is all for informational and educational purposes only, so do not do anything without your doctor's supervision. But many of you know from my contest prep, that was basically what I ran. A lot of people thought I was on gear, I was on cycle, taking the classic trend, Winstrol, Masteron, all the good compounds that are notorious in the bodybuilding world for competing. But I honestly only took SARMs. That was all I took for my contest prep. Ended up walking away with some trophies. So, I mean, it works phenomenal. There's no denying that. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to subscribe. Still can't believe we're at 16.8 thousand on the second channel. I want to thank you all for the immense support. And make sure to leave in the comments down below if you guys have any more questions, comments, what you want to see reviewed next. And of course, you can DM me. I can't promise I'll be able to get back to all of you because of just how flooded my DMs are all the time. But you're more than welcome to follow me, shoot me a DM. I might potentially be able to respond, and it's real Kenny KO. If you guys need anything, that link in the description down below of this video or on my Instagram will be where you can stock up on everything. So on that note, just remember, be careful, play it safe, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one.
Ride or die, 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 ride or die. Cody's, but it's my guys. Know that we fly, know that they ride or die. I keep well on my side. CJ Ack, now I gotta ride or die.